cars and shit.
Hey, yes, sir.
But the dude, he feel like he more street than you. He got more street ties and niggas than you. Back then and now. So it ain't no Mike Jones. Back then and now.
Ain't no back door.
He just got millions now. Legitly. And that's the shit that had him so cocky. The long run y'all had. Niggas ain't never did no shit like this. Y'all been running how long? Over what? A century? Over a century, a good 15, 20 years. You understand? So, at least.
Hold up. This has got to be one of the realest videos on the internet right now.
Let me tell y'all something when it comes to a man, my husband. I can't speak for nobody else. And I'm sick of people asking this question. Who you feed first? A man or the kids? The kids come first, the man come first, whoever come first in your house. Let me tell you something. We all don't have the same lifestyle, okay? Some of y'all may get food stamps. Some of y'all working and providing food for your household. Yes, ladies. Some of y'all ladies working or either get food stamps and you're providing the food for your household. And this man just coming over eating. I don't blame you feed your kids first. If that's the case, no. But when you got a provider and a protector and every piece of food come through that door come from his blood and sweat, yeah, you gonna feed him first, yes. Because guess what? When my kids grown now, but when they was coming up, they done ate at school all day. Then when they busted through the door before they get in the door good, they snacking, eating. My husband on work from dusk to dawn, and baby, when he come through this door falling out, yeah, we all getting on the kids. Y'all pull them boots off while I'm in here fixing the plate. And yeah, we finna get daddy together. Because daddy makes sure we good. So if you ain't had that, you would never understand the concept if you ain't had that, okay? So don't come for me. I'm just letting you know. Until you have it, then you won't understand it. So until then, you keep feeding your kids first. And when you get that, then you make sure that black king get the big piece of chicken, okay? Feed him first and make sure he get the big piece of chicken because he deserves it. Okay, y'all have a good day.
Truth be told, Shorty right here kept it all the way G. And there was a lot of truth to those words right there. See, this has been a cultural debate that has had the internet in a chokehold lately. But Shorty right here just ended this whole argument with this answer. Now, like she said, to the households that don't have a strong man present, to the single parents who is doing it on
Get
their
what?
own, in cases where you may have a useless, freeloading, lazy, good-for-nothing man living
She was like, nope. I like, dog, at least I'm about to graduate. So she was pregnant with my other son.
Right.
While we was graduating. So that was 2.
Right.
And then it just kept, man, it just kept on rolling after that. It just kept on rolling.
You know what? To understand, like, you know what? Even though your dream was to be a rapper, you understood that you had a responsibility at that point in time. So I've got to put what I really want to do on hold to make sure that the responsibility that I created is taken care of.
Yeah, I gave up. I tell people I gave my dream away for my kids, and God gave it right back to me. I feel like God was like, since you showed that you was willing, I'll give it back to you. Cause I gave up. I'm like, ain't no way. I wasn't. I had a job. I worked at Southern Company, and then I got in the streets. You know, cause that child support started.
Yeah, working at the Southern Company ain't gonna cut it.
Nah.
Not with that many kids.
Nah, it was that child support check. When they finally took child support out, me and my partner Devin was walking. And I stopped, because this one you can see chicks.
Oh, they garnished you?
Yeah, they garnished. I say, he was like, what's wrong? I said, man, I don't think I can afford to take another step. It's over. Man, I do not work at no power plant. I work at the Dollar Tree. Man, you see that money coming out, ain't no way.
Yeah.
Ain't no way.
So you says, okay, now, let me ask you a question. There are not a whole lot of celebrities. I think Future, I don't know how you're cool with Future. I mean, obviously Nick Cannon, that's kind of like you're saying, because he's a comedian and things of that nature. Do you talk to other celebrities? Have you talked to other celebrities that have a large number of kids?
Me and T.I. talk, but he ain't got me in his knee. But, man, to be honest, man, you know, once you get everything right in life, I spend a lot of time with my kids.
Right.
My kids stay right around. I catch every one of my son's games. Got a son in college balling right now. My daughter's dance, my daughter's cheerlead. You know, we spend a lot of time together, but they all pretty much family men, especially T.I. You know, they be around their kids as much as they can. That's the only one I really talk to.
Right. So did you put yourself on child support? When did you come to the conclusion and says, you know what, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this for you, and so, because you know sometimes they go, the attorneys get expensive.
Yeah.
They get real expensive. So you try to settle this before it get to that point.
Yeah, I did that. I put myself on child support, but man, that child support, that ain't the problem. They really need more. You find out they need more than that.
Right.
It costs a lot to really raise those kids for real, man. They asking their mama every day. So I just came to the realization, because I was that child.
Right.
That my dad to drop off some money, but that ain't enough.
Right.
So, you know, I just, man, you know what? I always just gave him the paper. I get me some more money, man.
Right.
But you can't buy peace. So I'm like, get that money. I get more of that.
Right.
But I need my peace.
So how much to take care of your monthly expenses just with the kids and the kids' mom?
Just with the kids and kids? Just with the kids and
Not
kids?
your expenses, not with you, because you got to live also. But you got to make sure they straight.
Okay.
So what's that expense?
Okay, not count my family or nothing.
Not counting your family, just the
Just
kids and the kids' mom.
Just with them, probably 100. You know what I'm saying? Just with the baby mamas, not count my family, and not count me. That's about 100. About 100 a month.
So, but if you throw your family in there and throw you in there, that's probably another 100 on top of that.
Now, when Al Sharpton heard the tape, because he heard it, he said, that man is wrong, and you're like my daughter, so I'm going to have to call him up. Kevin Hart heard the tape. He said, oh, I called him, and he said he don't want to revisit it. And I didn't push that. I was grateful that he kept his word, and he called.
This rapper ruined his life without even knowing, because now no one in the industry ever wants to be associated with him. He raps about gang wars, the millions in his bank account, and digging graves for people who mess with him.
I'm a grave digger. I just slayed
He calls himself Spot 'em Got 'em, and a short while ago, this guy was a hotcake. His songs were topping the charts, and he was rocking the biggest chains and grills, and he was linking up with big names like Lil Durk and DaBaby.
Okay, there we
Stats
go.
were all over Instagram.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Boom.
But
All right.
all of that suddenly changed when Spot 'em did something that made all his fans turn against him. Spot 'em and his friend Mookie were arrested for several charges, including possession of a firearm that belonged to a convicted felon. But only Spot 'em was released almost immediately with bond, and things were just not adding up. This made everyone start asking a lot of questions, and it didn't take long until people began to suspect that he snitched on his friend to get out. And of course, no one likes a rat. So many rappers began to cut ties with him. His fans stopped straight his music. And things were not
You
going
fed
well
up?
for Spottum, because not only did the public now hate him, Spottum had lots of targets on his back. And because of that, he always walked around with his firearms for protection. But one day, things almost went south for him. You see, Spottum was cruising around a highway with his friend in his car, and someone fired shots at him. In total, the police recorded 22 bullets were fired at Spottum's car. But somehow, he managed to survive and escape with an injury on his hips. After recovery, Spottum knew he had to come up with a plan because he might not be so lucky the next time. So he decided to stay low-key for a while and avoid the media's attention. But that plan didn't work for long, because less than a year after staying low-key, Spottum was caught up in another mess. And this time he did something worse than snitching. You see, Spottum was caught driving a jet ski in a restricted area. And when a police officer asked him to get off the property, Spottum did the craziest thing. He
Anybody know no Baby Shark?
I'm not for a long time. It's exponentially worse than New York City in every single category, but for whatever reason gets none of the attention. However, that ends today, as you'll be able to see the nonsense that takes place in the streets of Philly. So let's dive right in. The story begins in the trenches of North Philadelphia, specifically 75th Avenue. This is where a man named Barry Reese, also known as Cassidy, was born and raised.
Stop, put that down. Stop.
In the early 2000s, he performed at rap battles all over the East Coast until he protect himself.
Cassidy was big thugging out here.
This would be one of his childhood best friends named Abdul West. Abdul was raised in a good two-parent home that ate together, prayed together 5 times a day, and always made sure his homework was done. Because of this, Abdul was a good student and actually graduated high school at 16 with a trade in plumbing. Despite being on a good path, Abdul had a strange love for the streets that always caught his attention. Although home life was good, North Philly was always hectic, and Abdul wanted to be a part of it. So when his homie Cassidy's career blew up, he volunteered to be his street enforcer. So in the streets of Philly, Cassidy was at the helm, and by his side was Abdul's brother Flock and another friend named Pretty Flock. Together, they were the guys in Philly that had all the money, and of course, they had all of the girls as well. But with this kind of fame came a whole lot of envy. Many people they grew up with were jealous and were looking for any reason to try them. And that takes us to April 15th, 2005. It's a huge day for Cassidy as he's releasing his highly anticipated song, I'm a Hustler. So of course he's in great spirits until he receives an alarming phone call from Abdul. Abdul tells him that Pretty Flock was jumped by a group of guys they grew up with. The story goes that they caught him out doing errands and they jumped him for absolutely zero reason. So directly after, Flock called Abdul and told him to pull up ASAP. From there, Abdul hopped in his car and called Cassidy to let him know that he might.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, yeah.
This is the craziest thing of it all.
2015. There's the funeral service stuff. Wow. Tribute wall, this and third. Wow. This is what it is. Wow. They could use a better picture, right? Got him just with like bust down watch on and a chain and a life beard. They could use a different picture. Part of the defense for Young Thug is street conversations that Donovan Nunn Thomas was fucking the DA. Bonnie Willis. We know this face. We know this name. By the way, she got a little bumper on her. As a matter of fact, y'all want to see that? Come on, we know. She got that little bump. She got that little, you know, you can see under that corporate dress. She got that little bumper on her. I ain't gonna hold you. You heard me? Now, this is crazy. And when I mean this is crazy is because a woman, and by the way, I'm only talking in speculation. I'm talking definitive. I'm talking about what allegedly the streets are saying and what people have been saying. Do I notice this fact? I don't. But people been saying, everybody knows that Bonnie Willis was dealing with Donovan Nunn Thomas. Now, the thing is, that is already some type of work impropriety of that. Because if the leader in the county, which is the district attorney, who's supposed to make decisions on are we taking this to trial and make prosecutorial decisions within the county, if they're sleeping with a possible criminal, which I'm not going to say Donovan Nunn Thomas was, but if you're sleeping with, that would probably be a conflict of interest. Correct? Cool. Now, what have people said to support that? Because that sounds like a wild claim.
What's going on?
What people have said is, well, apparently in her office, so you know, she went through a time where she wasn't DA. She was actually district. She went from an assistant DA or something like that, then she went to a defense attorney, right? And when she was a defense attorney, that's when she represented YSL Mondo. Remember? Bonnie Willis, YSL Mondo.
Leave that alone. Now get out of here. Leave it alone.
She represented YSL Mondo. Okay? Now, ironically, when the YSL indictment comes down, we get somebody like Slug, who's named Walter Murphy.
You ain't gotta come here and make unnecessary noise. You ain't gotta do that.
But guess who doesn't get indicted? Another co-founder, YSL Mondo, does not get indicted. Why might that be the case? That might be the case because that's another conflict of interest. You know why? Well, man, you're the head prosecutor in town. You just indicted the gang that I'm supposedly in. But when you were a defense attorney, you were defending me on me being in a gang. That would be a conflict of interest. So we don't know if that's the reason why, but ironically, he's not even indicted. He would have a great case of conflict of interest because the person who's now prosecuting, you got to realize it's attorney-client privilege. Think about this. Attorney-client privilege, they're talking, he says to Fonnie Willis, yeah, I'm part of YSL. He throws up all them signs in, you know, S stands for this, L stands for this, IME, all that bullshit. And then Fonnie Willis like, okay, I got you. Goes into court, defends him successfully, gets to be the head DA 3 years later, and says, remember the nigga I defended successfully? That nigga told me he was YSL. He was on that shit talking about slime and slap, wiping his nose like he had a cold.
This game, you're not ready for it.
Here we go.
Well, we do it tonight. My right arm is putting up in like a two-tone Rolls Royce, a Ghost or a Wraith. I said, nigga, when we gonna get one in? He got shit. LP open the studio up. We do it tonight. He said, I said, all right, cool, bet. I called PT Crap to the show. So we all go to the studio, QC studio. When I walk in, they shoot knives. $1,000,
a roll out, right? I tell Blueface, I stay out them dice with them niggas. Them niggas do that all day. They be Blueface go over there, he lose 5,000, 38 seconds. I make him a believe he get away from, right? Settle dice, about 25, 30 in the dub. We go in there, kill a few people, just record and bust down. Blueface featuring off there.
This nigga retarded. He literally gonna ask the question, how do you shoot dice? I guess they don't shoot dice in Jamaica. They shoot other stuff. church. Let's take him to church. Let's take him to church.